Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Let's Play Baldur's Gate 2, the Enhanced Edition. So as you can see, we are starting off not in exactly the last place we left off. And I'll explain why, in addition to explaining what the party got up to between then and now. I recorded the session after we left off last time for the first time around about 11:30 at night. I thought I was in the mood to give it a go, to play another session, but about halfway through I wasn't overly happy with how things were going in terms of the commentary. I was obviously too tired to really play the game properly and enjoy it as much as I hoped I would, so I cancelled that session. So the next day I started afresh from where we left off last time and played the session out in its entirety, and pretty much got to here. Rather unfortunately, when it came to editing the video, I realised that the recording was corrupt. Although the game audio was fine, the game video was frozen, which was the result of an NVIDIA issue in which I had to upgrade the video drivers. So that was the second attempt to record the session, ending in abject failure. So I had a choice. Do I pick up from where we are now, as to after the session that you haven't seen, or do I try again for a third time to record that session? Well, considering that we're still in the starting area, I assume most of you that are watching this have probably played this game already before. You're not really missing much. So rather than go through everything again, in which it was only a half-an-hour session, so we didn't actually do that much, I thought to give you a very quick rundown as to what happened between the last session and this one. So of course we ended the last session here, having just found out that we need to find an activation stone that could be located on a table near Rylev, who we needed to speak to try and figure out the purpose of our journey. We ventured into this room here, where Rylev was found suspended like the others down here, and he was alive, or was he dead, or in a state of in-between? We can't quite tell. But he told Godan that he was a friend of our captor, a former servant, and he was being suspended here until his captor could find a way to cure him or something. Godan wasn't really paying attention. The activation stone was lying on the table, as well as some other supplies, and Godan pocketed it and realised that, you know what, we don't have to actually release this thing to get the stone, therefore he's probably going to give us information, and we can get that information elsewhere. And so, rather than release this thing, give it what it craves, given it's a former friend of the Master, the very person that captured us and held us here prisoner, he's in cahoots with him, or was in cahoots with him. Godan had no intention of giving him what he wanted, and therefore he left him in his suspended state just that little bit longer until somebody else comes along. We certainly weren't going to help him out. We proceeded to fight through some goblins and made our way here to the library area, where we fought off some more. Immerwan was tasked with rifling through the several bookshelves where we picked up some scrolls, some potions, and found several history books of every damn city on this planet, no doubt. Tons of the damn things, but nothing to tell us where we were or who our captor was. So rather useless information. We took a quick peek down here into the pit area, and we got a glimpse of some strange beast that is no doubt the Guardian. So we decided to hold off on there and turned and instead came up this way to here, where we found some Durgar dwarves, underground dwelling, evil-natured dwarves that were in the employ of our captor, crafting weapons, no doubt, for him in some strange setup. Suffice to say, the party cut them down like a hot knife through butter. Took a little bit of damage here and there, but ultimately we put them down like the dogs that they are. And now we find ourselves here, a little bit bruised, but with some upgrades to our equipment. Go down with a medium shield, a new fancy helmet, and some throwing axes, not to mention the Wizard Slayer axe he picked up from the sewerage golem room. And a few more potions. From the head Durgar, who was named Ilyik, we picked up some Dryad acorns, rather strangely. We pocketed them just in case they may prove to be useful somewhere later along the lines. Minsk has really not got anything to worry about. Jaheira is now wielding a scimitar, a sling, and a medium shield. And Imowen has picked up quite a few scrolls, which we haven't yet had time to learn because we're rather busy trying to fight our way out of here. So that's what happened in the last session. Summed it up in about 5 minutes, what happened in 30 when I was playing it out. So there you go. And we now find ourselves here, outside a locked door with a strange shaped recess on the floor, which indicates some kind of a statue needs to be inserted here for this door to be open. So we can't go through there just yet, but the corridor does continue round, and so we shall continue round with it.
On my honor, it shall be.
As we task Imowen
What do you want?
to go have a wee nosy, as we can hear something mechanical round the corner. Imowen seamlessly melds into the shadows along the dark, damp corridor, using her wealth of experience as a trained thief and master of the guild in Baldur's Gate. She deftly avoids a line of floor plates, dropping several arrows nearby to mark them for the party should they need to follow. Whilst Imowen is scouting ahead, Godan mindlessly twirls Bhaal's axe in his hand. An axe that belonged to a rather foul-tempered, smelly, gully dwarf prince that made a career for himself in slaying mages. The enchanted axe was the secret to his success. Believed to be crafted by Bhaal himself, the axe casts miscast magic on a successful blow. It also grants the wielder the ability to cast Dispel magic once a day. Alright, so we have some kind of strange device here, and we have a cambion, which is hostile, I might add. So Imowen, whilst hidden by shadows, pushes the lever of this machine, which seems to excite the demon that stands in the circle. The magic barrier that surrounds it weakens visibly. If the wheel is turned further, you expect that the magic might disappear altogether. Oh, you push the lever and the room begins to hum. The magic barrier around the demon disappears. The fiend snarls and gnashes its teeth. So we have removed its protections, but yet it still charges towards us.
Yes?
Imowen better get moving pretty quickly.
Consider it done.
As Godan and co rush forward to her aid, and oops-a-daisy. Now she can start casting some spells if she has any worth her salt left. We could probably do with resting and changing these up a little bit. Casting haste. You know what? We should be fine here.
Fall creature has been here.
Yes?
Defensive stance. Minsk is going to go into berserk mode.
Nature's servant awaits.
Jaheira going to cast Doom.
Ready and willing.
Everyone just going to shoot some arrows. Uh-oh, Godan is in trouble. Minsk is now berserk. This is trouble. This is big trouble.
What's my task?
What is he? Is he held?
On my honor.
Oh no, that's the defender's stance. Sorry, I thought he was held.
Yes.
Popping a potion.
What's my task?
Right, okay. And attack.
Something else? I await your move.
Let's have a look here. Her spells out much better. Casting Bark Skin on Godan. Badly injured. Okay, he's bark skinned. And Kate and Jaheira are just going to shoot some bullets. Come on. Come on. Oh! 32 slashing damage from Minsk. The Cambion is down. Good job, team.
On my honor. Yes.
During the fight, Minsk screams out in a fit of rage, slashing and swiping with his sword like a madman, almost striking Godan on numerous occasions in the process. Finally, one of Minsk's swooping overhead strikes fells the Cambion, and Jaheira pats him on the shoulder to acknowledge his efforts, whilst Godan shoots him an icy glare. The sooner this loon is out of the group, the better, although for now, his presence could prove vital to Godan's escape.
Time to move?
The defeated creature was a Cambion, a half-fiend humanoid, often a result of a union between a plain-touched woman and a Tanarn. Cambions usually grow up to be bitter and twisted, and due to their powers, often make great assassins.
Yes.
This one
Very well.
wielded an enchanted bastard sword that Imoen tried to discern,
What
but
is my
couldn't.
task?
She would utilise her magics later
Done.
to identify the weapon. In the meantime, the group made their way to the pit that was guarded by some foul beast. Whilst walking down the narrow passage approaching the pit, Godan retches at the stink emanating from within. Sewage? Rotting flesh? Human waste? A combination of the three? Godan could not tell, nor did he want to. He proceeded onwards, trying to stifle the smell with the back of his hand.
Yep, right you are.
I am ready. It is done.
On my honor.
It is about time.
Alright,
What
alright.
the hell is Imoen doing? So we've got an Otyug here.
Yes.
My blade will next time.
Okay, so Minsk's Berserker mode has finished with suffering with what looks to be poison, no? Disease and slow.
On my honor.
Oh yeah, we are taking poison damage.
Yes, it shall be.
Minsk continues his maniacal swiping and swishing during the fight with the Otyug, a strangely deceptive, somewhat intelligent, bizarre-looking creature. A bloated oval-shaped body, 3 shuffling elephant-like legs, and a rock-like hide.
Speak your
That
mind.
wasn't all. 3 tentacles, 2 of which were bedecked in rough, thorny growths,
problem at all.
ending in leaf-shaped pads and bearing rows of sharp spikes. The third ended in a pair of eyes and an olfactory organ. The beast was a scavenger, and obviously thoroughly enjoyed wallowing in this pit of filth, constantly shoveling the refuse into its fang-filled maw. Whilst fighting, Godan gently nudged Minsk, sending him off balance. Godan then deftly dodged an incoming tentacle and slashed the creature's underbelly with his axe, bringing an end to the fight. He puffed up his chest, looking at the recovering Minsk, chuckling to himself. There was no pap from Jaheira this time.
Cover your nose, Boo. We will leave no crevice untouched.
The Eyes of Truth, a helm of infravision. Godan already has infravision, but he... quite a fancy helmet. Potions stack quite highly, don't they? Right. So, when it comes to the spells, we'll see which ones we may wish to learn with Imowen right at the point that we're gonna rest, and that's probably getting close, but it's not quite time yet. Whilst Imowen is rooting through nearby chests and containers and announcing that there are useful potions and scrolls contained within, Godan notices something glinting in the Otyug's half-open maw. He instructs Minsk to take a look. The ranger pulls out a strange one-shaped item that appears to be a key. When he passed it to Godan, Godan flinched as the key touched his palm. It was icy cold. Perhaps it activated the portal they had located to the north of their holding area. Godan would keep this in mind. Okay, we've got more goblins here.
My gotcha good.
There you go. Taking a nice little shot there. Down in one. Ah, that's you, creatures!
It shall be.
Gotcha good.
On my honor.
There we go, Godan getting in on the action there.
With vengeance!
Where's he going? There we go. Ooh. Everyone's pretty full. Finally, something more useful than the plethora of regular arrows these ill-equipped goblins seem to carry. A notch of poison-tipped arrows, often known to cause an agonizing and slow death to one's victims. As Godan is contemplating Irenicus's slow and painful death, he overhears Jaheira whining to Imowen about the fact that Khalid remains missing.
Something up?
She is concerned for him and is surprised, given the breadth of the den of iniquity of the dungeon they find themselves in, that we haven't located him yet. Imowen shows concern and reassures Jaheira that we will find him soon. Godan scoffs, and then, as the door swings open, a rather comforting looking room with a foreboding feeling to it.
Nature, sir, I am willing.
This would be good. This would be a good time for Imowen to be able to hide in shadows. Her hiding shadow skill is actually quite low at 25. Not what it once was. It appears to be some kind of living quarters. A stark contrast to the areas that they have explored thus far. It looks rather homely, if you can ignore the ominous feeling that the room radiates. Imowen tells the party to remain where they are while she investigates. Her expertise in the trade is a splendour to watch. She gracefully moves around the room, manoeuvring around the chess table, the couch, the table containing inviting fresh-looking fruit, the lounger, the plants, whilst her footsteps are muffled by the soft patterned rug and thick carpet, whilst also being masked by the welcoming crackling fire. Imowen remains undistracted by the room's comforts, however, as she locates and disarms numerous traps before announcing the all clear. Okay, some more enemies. Okay. Try again. Boom! Run, you fools! Run!
Yep. Good to go.
Yes?
Let's get these things pulled into our corridor so they can't ambush us here. There we go.
What is my task?
Taking candy from a baby.
On my honor. Yes.
Nature,
not gonna keep me
take
here.
the life she gave!
Yes?
Swords, not words!
I await your move.
Nature, take the life she gave!
What is my task? By my honor, you shall not see another day. On my honor. Very well. Yes?
Look at all those goblin parts lying around. So Minsk taking a few blows there. Just a handful of blows. I'm sure he'll be fine, you know. Don't know if you've noticed, but Minsk has a little bit less in terms of the potions than some of the others. Godan being a little bit stingy with Minsk's supplies. Wonder why that is.
What do you want? Red is rain.
Right, Imowen is now full. So I'll probably give the gems to Jaheira at this point, just to free up a little bit of space. She should be fine to carry these for now. Probably get rid of that. As the last of the goblins falls, Godan sarcastically states, "All clear." Imowen flushes. Her embarrassment is not dwelt on, however, as Godan approaches a familiar sight. It appears to be an identical, almost transparent shimmering portal to the one located just off their holding area. He takes out the frost key and steps towards the portal.
Done.
He reaches out with an outstretched hand and
Nature
Nothing.
could find a home here if it were properly
his hand
cleansed and
passes through, but there is no
Very
sign of the
willing.
portal transporting
Good to go.
Godan anywhere. Obviously, a different key is required. Godan kicks the portal in anger, causing
Something up, right you
Jaheira
are.
to jump back in
On my honor.
surprise.
As you ask.
So the portal requires some kind of a key. The same as the portal in our holding room.
Time to move? All right, all right.
Wand of Lightning key. Helm of Baldur. The fabled Helm of Balduran, a legendary founder of Baldur's Gate no less. +1 to Thaco armor class, saving throws, and an extra 5 hit points. I wonder who's going to claim that one. This appears to be the episode of many helms. Godan constantly switching helmets here. Now preferring that one. Balduran was a legendary seafaring explorer that returned from his first expedition with tall tales and a vast fortune. He put some of that fortune to good use, investing it in the protection of his small harbour town.
Yep.
That small town
No problem at
soon grew into the city of Baldur's Gate. A fitting helmet indeed to nestle atop his head, Godan thinks, as he puts it on, giving his cast-off helmet of infravision to Jaheira. Whilst in the middle of his fashion parade, Godan fails to notice Imowen turning a strange statue in her hands depicting an air elemental. Perhaps the key to opening the door next to the Durgau workshop? While she ponders this,
What do you want? You can count on
Godan
me.
laughing childlessly in the background as he compares his helmet to the rather basic one that Minsk is donning, Imoen also finds a Metaspell Influence amulet, a trinket known to enhance spellcasting and one that is highly sought after by all manner of mages. It was created by Eladrin Melwith, who resided in the Star Mounts. Fabricated to assist in his womanizing habits, the amulet eventually ended
This way
in the
then?
hands of a mage
Yes,
with more
it shall be.
destructive intent. Alright, so here we have Elaim, Uline, and Kania.
What is my
Godan
task?
having the sudden urge to wish to speak to these
On my honor,
things.
consider it done.
Protect me.
Yes, help us. Free us. Asking what's going on here and who exactly are they? We are his possessions, his servants, his concubines. Please help us to escape. Godan asking how he can do that. If you can escape, you must take our acorns to the queen. Tell her of our plight in this creature's lair. Take them to the fairy queen who lives in the south end of the Windspear Hills. This will be our deliverance from this Irenicus and his dungeon. Okay, so this is the first time we have heard our captor's name. So, I see we have a name for our... Tahira noticing the same. For our captor. Irenicus, is it? Tell me, Dryads, why this Irenicus would go to such lengths to keep you three here. We are supposed to instill emotion, but he is barren inside. I am not sure what he expects. You can foil his plans for us at least. If you take the acorns to the fairy queen, then she can regrow our trees and free us. Yes, asking why they simply don't leave. They don't appear to be chained, held here against their will. We cannot leave our trees. If we are separated from our trees, we will die. Okay, so Godan confirming how he can help. Alright. Well, anything that gets one over on our captor is good enough for us. Godan, happy to help. Thank you. You must take the acorns and deliver them to the fairy queen in the south end of the Windspear Hills. But he has taken the acorns. He knows of our plans. It amuses him. He has left our acorns with Iliac. Iliac is mean. Godan fumbling around in his pack, pulling out the acorns we have taken from the dead body of Iliac and producing them with a smirk. These the acorns you're talking about, he says. You have done a noble thing for us. Please take these acorns to the fairy queen who lives northeast of the human settlement called Trademeet. We will help you escape. You must use the portals to travel up to the next level of the complex. This is how Irenicus travels. The portals are triggered by a certain key, of which we've figured that out, but hopefully they might tell us which key that might be. He uses her key. He still loves her, you see. He keeps her room just as it was, though well protected. We go there sometimes and look at her things. May the forest always open a path for you.
So beautiful. I used to dream of dryads and their beautiful trees.
Okay, so Imoen telling Godan that they are dryads. Godan probably mesmerised by their beauty. Doesn't care for what they are called. You are welcome among us, girl. Youthful exuberance is music that we have not heard in such a long time. Imoen, I used to dream, but he doesn't. Your charms don't work on him anymore, do they? How do you know of this? He has touched you as us, hasn't he? Irenicus searches for something he cannot find, and he looks within those that have no more idea than he. Irenicus? A name that is synonymous with death and ugliness. No, death sounds different. He showed me. I spit on his name. I spit on this place. Live as you can, where you must, young woman. You will not survive if you give in. We have learned this. Godan is caught in the crossfire of this conversation here. I have learned something different. So beautiful you are. I almost can't see you. Oh, God. Sorry, there's a moth just flown right past my head. Go away, creature, go away. I almost can't see you. I just want to go home. Oh, Godan, when can we go home? When the moth's gone, love. When the moth's gone, we can go home, okay? Bloody hell. Give me right fright, it did. There's no windows open. Where's it come from? Okay, so Imoen having a conversation with the dryads. Godan sort of like trying to usher her along here. Just, yes, cut the conversation short. We have the acorns. We're going to help them all. All very good, but we must leave this place.
I await your word.
As much as we are drawn in by their beauty, that doesn't distract us from the fact that we need to get the hell out of here. Right, we're just passing the half an hour mark, which is quite an appropriate time to leave, because right here, apparently, is the room of her.
What is my task?
Apparently someone who Irenicus cared for. And it could be dangerous. Apparently it's well protected. So in the next session, we'll have a peek in here, look for the key that might allow us to travel between the portals, and we'll see what is in store for us next as we try to escape Irenicus's dungeon, because now we know his name. But that'll be next time, of course, so join me for that. See you soon.